So today's Monday motivation is about core values. And I have been reflecting a lot on how we keep going, how we have resilience in the face of difficult situations, in the face of changing political environments, in the face of mental health that also fluctuates. And what I've come to realize is that the closer we can be to understanding our values at our core, um, the more likely we have the energy supply we need to lean on in order to continue putting one foot in front of the other. And I think I'm speaking really to my fellow, well, not just entrepreneurs, but folks who are really tied to their work. um, Sometimes we feel like kind of, I think, machines, or like there's like a loss of humanity in the act of pushing ourselves to work. And so when we can step back and have some reflection on the how of delivering the work, not just the product itself, but how are we doing it? How are we showing up? Um, are we coming with empathy and compassion? Are we coming um, with openness and open-mindedness and understanding and adaptability, flexibility, honesty, transparency? Um, I have a background in governance in international relations, and so things like accountability, transparency, and um, openness are and legitimacy, like a right to speak, a right to an earned right to have a voice in specific arenas is really important to me. And so that I think feeds really closely, strongly into the core values of Movement Remedies, because I believe in continuing to refer back to the research and the literature on pain, and I will always adapt my approach to what is discovered. And I don't believe in um, digging my heels in the sand and being unwilling to be flexible. I also um, believe in working with people in a way that is welcoming and inclusive and open, and also understands that their human and lived experience is valid and that no one needs to prove anything to me. And that just the act of creating that safe space for people and being consistent and true to my values is novel, it turns out. I think as we get older, boy, I could really go off on a whole thing today, but I think as we get older, I've been reflecting on these like seasons of heartbreak. Like there's heartbreak you have when you're a young person, and it's just usually because you have a crush on somebody and it's not returned, or they just stop calling you, or little crushes and love affairs. And as you get older and your relationships become a little bit more nailed down, I think there are other forms of heartbreak that we go through. There's the heartbreak of aging. There's the heartbreak of aspirations not turning out the way we wanted. There's the heartbreak of having to discover that people we looked up to turned out to be not what we expected, and maybe not living up to a core set of core values. Um, there's the disappointment of, big financial changes and um, health changes. I mean, I just think that people are going through a number of seasons, and we have to honor the seasons. And how hard is it to just feel like you can be safe in a space in whatever season that you're in, and to not have to show up as this like kind of fake, you know, I'm not saying that you should be like disappointed and like sad and like gloomy glum all the time. Of course we want to seek positivity and we want to support and uplift each other. But I'm just finding more and more that um, the act of holding safe, honest space for people is rebellion, and is itself courageous sometimes. and has a lot of value. And I just want to continue to lead human first. And I would encourage you to lead with your humanity first. And I think that starts with your core values. And when you feel tired and uncertain of where you sit in the world, you can go back to them and remember, this is the how of my showing up. This is the how of my delivering work. This is the how of my being a part of relationships. And um, this is why my approach, aligns with who I am, and you don't have to question about whether you're trying to live up to someone else's expectations. And so I just would encourage you to go through that exercise. And when you feel discouraged or disappointed or wondering if what you're doing um, is correct, revisit your values and let that be your guide. And I really feel like that is an exercise we don't make enough room for, um, as part of the human experience, as part of education, maybe. Um, yeah, so that was a bit of a rant / Monday motivation. Thanks for listening. Have a great week. Talk to you soon.